guys, it's Miss Puckett. I'm sorry I'm out again for your art class. I'm super sick. I hope I'll be back soon, but for now we're gonna work on some Square1 art. Your portraits look great, but if you still need to finish, they're in your bucket. Check out some of the Square1 art products at my smartboard desk if you haven't already, and let's get started. So what is Square1 art? It's the same project we did last year. It's an art fundraiser for Norton School held by the PTA. What happens is you draw your piece of artwork on this special piece of Square1 art paper, and we send it to this Square1 art company. They scan it into their computer and they can print it on a ton of different things, like you can see up on the board. What I really like about this project is that for $0, you get free stickers of your artwork. And I think that's very cool as an artist to get your artwork published. But if you'd like to spend a little bit more money, you can buy some of these things here, like the mugs and the phone case and the pillow, and give it as gifts with your customized artwork on it. Now this is a long-term project. You probably won't get your stickers until March, and anything you buy until maybe May. Now there are some important rules for Square1 art. These are Square1 art company's rules, not Miss Puckett rules, so you have to make sure you follow them in order for your artwork to come out right. Number 1, make sure nothing is too close to the border. There is a chance that the computer will crop off a piece of your artwork and you won't be able to see it. So make sure nothing important goes close to the edge. Fill in the whole paper. Make sure your designs are large and visible so they stand out. It looks pretty big when it's on this Square1 art paper, but if it gets shrunk down into a keychain, you won't be able to see any teeny tiny details. Make sure you don't add any words or writing, nothing small like speech bubbles, but if you want a very large design like this one here that says love, maybe your initial, something big, that's fine. Make sure you add lots and lots of color and color it nice and darkly. No cream cheese, no white spaces left, and add your signature, not too close to the edge or it'll get cut off. Use one of the blue ink pens on my desk to fill out the top of your Square1 art paper. Your first name and your last name go in the little squares up top. Your school name is Norton. Your grade is your grade. And your teacher should be your classroom teacher. Do not write Miss Puckett. I only have enough Square1 art paper to have one per person. So whatever you do not throw yours out. Remember to use pencil first, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it and then color over on top of your erase marks so you don't see them. Or if you'd like, you can take one of the 8.5 by 8.5 square pieces of paper and glue it onto the top to cover over your mistake. Remember, one dot, not a lot. Do not flood it with glue or it'll wrinkle and warp your paper. Grade 6, 5, 4, and 3, you guys all have open choice for what you want to do for your Square1 art. But remember the rules so that your artwork comes out well. You may also want to think about picking something that everyone will enjoy, something universal, especially if you're going to give this as a gift to someone. Pick something easy, not too complicated, that you can finish fast, but think of something that has some personal meaning to you. This is going to make money for the PTA, and it goes to a third-person company, Square1 Art. So that means no copyrighted logos, symbols, or characters in your artwork. If you're stumped for ideas, here's a few to help you. You can go to Art for Kids Hub on YouTube to help you draw anything that you would like to put on your Square1 art. Don't worry, as long as it's not a copyrighted character, you can put anything from Art for Kids Hub onto Square1 Art. You could also just Google Square1 Art ideas to see what comes up, to see what other artists have done for this project, or you can get inspired by something you've done previously in art class. Think about op art, still life, Keith Haring, etc. Alright, smartest artists, before you head off, let me reiterate, no copyrighted characters, symbols, or logos. So if you like football, you can draw a football, but you cannot draw the Patriots logo. If you love adorable animals, you can draw an adorable animal, but you cannot draw Pikachu. that is copyrighted. The one exception I do have is any local teams like the Cheshire Rams. They won't come after you and sue you, so feel free to use your sports team's logo for your local teams. All right, grade 2, it's up to you. Smartest artist, when you're thinking about what you want to do for Square1 Art, think about some of the things we've learned so far in 2nd grade. Beautiful mandalas, symmetrical insects, overlap like our fish bowls or our overlapped items. All of those are great idea for Square1 Art. And when you look up on the board, those are exact projects that other classrooms have done too for their Square1 Art. If you're really stumped and have no idea what you want to draw, you're welcome to use your Chromebooks today to go to Art for Kids Hub on YouTube and follow along with a video on there. Please, if you're following along, no sound or turn the sound way down so you don't upset your neighbors. And 2nd grade, the copyright rules go for you too. So if you're on Art for Kids Hub, make sure you're not picking any copyrighted videos. No Minecraft, no Pokemon, etc., etc. All right, 1st grade. Last year when you were in kindergarten, we were inspired by artist Pablo Picasso hand holding flowers. And this year we're going to be inspired by Wayne Thiebaud's delicious desserts. Wayne Thiebaud is a famous American artist who was born in Arizona and now he lives in California. He got very popular creating artwork based on some popular items, just like how Romero Britto got popular painting some famous people we know and love. Wayne Thiebaud got started working at a diner, and you can see by his artwork he got inspired by some things that he saw around the diner. He would look into the dessert case with all those delicious desserts, and then he would go home and paint what he saw. What I think is cool, one fact about Wayne Thiebaud, is that he actually worked for Disney doing some animation before he got famous as a painter in his own right. Now, my 1st grade smartest artist, you're going to be drawing your own desserts for Square1 Art. So there's a worksheet that you can look at that goes step by step on how to draw delicious sundaes, ice cream cones, cupcakes, all sorts of things, although that's not the only thing you can do. I want you to pick a dessert, draw it with pencil. You can color it in with crayons, markers, oil pastel. You could even paint, and make sure that there is no white space left when you are done. All right, 1st graders, so here's a few tips while you're making your cupcake or ice cream or whatever your dessert is going to be. First off, you want to make sure you start with a good line drawing. I'm using crayon in this video, but you make sure you use pencil as you go. As you're drawing, make sure that if you have any eraser marks, you get rid of them completely. Use a good eraser. As you're drawing, make sure you add lots of fun lines, straight lines, weavy lines, curvy lines. That's going to give your dessert a lot of character. Don't forget to add details like a cherry on top or sprinkles to make yours special. As you guys are coloring, make sure you get rid of the white spots completely. You can use markers, crayons. I'd say no color pencil, but if you press really hard, you can get color pencil to look good for this. Finally, if you need a color for the background and you don't feel like coloring it in with pencil, go ahead and use some watercolor to fill in the background. Hello, smartest artists, kindergartners. Today we are going to learn about Ted Harrison Landscapes. He's a famous Canadian artist who loved to go to Alaska and paint all of the interesting, sometimes very cold and icy landscapes that he found there in Alaska. Now, one cool part about Ted Harrison's style is that he liked to look at the color wheel and divide it into two sections: warm versus cool colors. Warm colors he used for the sky. That's any colors that make you think of fire: reds, orange, yellow. And then for the ground or the water, he would use cold colors that reminded him of Alaska. Things like blues and purples and icy greens. So for today's project, make sure that you're thinking about warm versus cool colors in your sky and in your water. You're going to do this step with your guest teacher today, so don't rush ahead while I'm doing this, but you're going to want to have your horizon line, your sun peeking through, lots of big rays for your sunshine, and then my favorite part, down in the ocean, you're going to want a lot of lines. So make sure you're using your curly lines and your wavy lines. Then think about your warm and your cool colors when it's time to color. Use blues and greens and purples for your ocean, and then lots of fire colors like red and orange and yellow for the sky.